Hello, welcome back to Tail 3 Cabins. A lot happening today, so let's just get started. Alright, last week I got a couple holes in my rear tire here, and I'm still putting air in it every couple hours. We also got crazy and lowered the roof. Yesterday evening, 60% of our workforce had to leave, so it's just Don and I, so we're kind of dreading starting off this morning. Last week, a lot more comments on why I just didn't rent an excavator, and I've gone over that several times, but I do have JD here. We do have the backhoe on the back, so we're going to do our impression of a mini excavator. This is not going too bad. Instead of us using pry bars and sledgehammers, JD has taken some of the physical labor out of this. As I mentioned earlier, I got a bunch of comments about renting an excavator, and I can't see why I'd rent one because I have the tractor. A lot of folks said, well, you could take care of this in just a couple hours, but just to repeat, we saved a lot of wood. We were separating a lot of the materials so the dumpster would not get overly filled. So we were just adding insulation, shingles, and flooring materials to the dumpster and trying to burn whatever else that we weren't saving. Now, one drawback using JD is JD can only reach so far, and it's kind of hard to get the tractor in there close. Well, instead of trying to get JD close to the roofing materials, we're going to try to bring the roof closer to JD.
don't break loose from that other section of roof.
Well, hey, come on in. I'm standing here where the kitchen used to be. The living room was right over here. Bathroom back in this corner. Bedroom. Of course, upstairs steps going up this way, and then the entryway right here. But this is demo day number 4. When Don and I got up this morning, I got to be honest with you, neither one of us said anything, but I knew that we were both dreading this day. We were just the two of us. Somebody else was going to be coming down here later on in the afternoon, but we were dreading what we had left to do, and basically just take down the whole roof system as we brought that down to the ground. That's involving the shingles, trying to separate the sheeting from the joist and the rafters. We pulled out our secret weapon, JD, and it made things a lot easier. I was really happy with the backhoe, the way it tore apart that sheeting. We got it to where we can make much more smaller manageable pieces that we were able to transport down by the fire, separate the stuff that's going to go into the dumpster, and then separate the stuff that we're going to burn. So now we are just down to the floor level here, and we're hoping that it's going to go as good as it did today. JD has suffered a couple injuries. We've got the flat tire that we're putting air in every time. I don't know if it's just because the original hole was so large that it's still leaking, or if there's another one somewhere else in that tire. Something to look at when it's not full of mud right now. We've been able to put air into it about every 3-4 hours. When we come first thing in the morning, we'll have to put air in it again. Also, the fuel line that were broke, it doesn't appear to be leaking. Looks like we got that back together. Obviously, with a job like this, you're gonna have to deal with nails. There's just everywhere. Sooner or later, you're gonna run one over. It is what it is. My tires are getting a little long in the tooth. Anybody out there that sees the type of work I do with this tractor, watches these videos and have an idea of what you think best type of tires for what I've been doing, not just for a particular situation, but what you see, what would be the best type of tires that you would recommend if I were going to buy some new ones. So I think we have 2 days left. One day just to get rid of this subfloor, the posts that are holding this up, the porch up in front that the tripod is standing on right now. And then I think just to generalize, get everything reorganized again. So my truck is a mess. We got the RV over there, that everything's scattered because there just doesn't seem to be enough time of day to keep things organized. But we really need one day for organization. I think I'm going to try to get my wife Karen down here with somebody else, and maybe they could run around and pick up a lot of the stuff that's been blown. It was a very windy day today, and a lot of insulation and all the lighter stuff, styrofoam's kind of been blowing at the edge of the woods. It would be nice to get that picked up and neaten things up a little bit. The weather's been pretty decent so far, but there is a weather front coming in tonight. We're going to get some rain overnight and then probably some drizzle off and on tomorrow morning. The RV base camp has been doing well. Our tanks are holding out. Our water tank is still pretty full, and our gray and black are not doing too bad. So a nice hot shower tonight. Using that quick connect feature on the loader has really been great because we've been switching between the forks, the loader bucket, and the brush crusher constantly. We're pulling up the post now from the old porch floor and also the addition, which also was the original porch. Some are coming out easy and some need a little persuasion. A good bit of the materials in here are insulation, carpeting, flooring, roofing, and JD works pretty good at compacting all those. We've been trying pretty hard to separate the insulation from the materials that we're burning, which is mostly just wood, 2x4s, and sheeting, but once in a while a little bit does slip past us.
Number.
Karen and her brother showed up, and we basically gave them the prison yard detail work of picking up most of the fine insulation and stuff that is blown on the edge of the woods, while we try to bite off a little bit more than maybe we can chew. Day number 5, and I was prepared to stay out here for at least 12 days. I thought I would do about 3 days before the dumpster arrived, and then I had a dumpster for 10 days. And I thought I would need every single one of those 10 days, but we're pretty much done. JD came through again for us today, saved a lot of our backs. I think JD took a little bit of abuse this time, a little bit more wear and tear than normal with this sort of project, a lot of whining of that hydraulics. I was very surprised with the forks and even with the brush crusher that just kind of blew me away that I was dragging some pretty heavy chunks of the house. Karen and her brother came out to help pick up a lot of the scraps in the area and help out when they could. Not the end, no. I still have another day here at least where I want to tidy things up a little bit. We might remove the sidewalk back here that leads up to the old cabin, clean things up a little bit, put some stuff that I've had here for years, probably just sitting off to the side and off by the shed, and throw that away and put it in a dumpster. See what else we can fit in that dumpster before we decide to call and have them empty it. We're gonna burn some more of the scrap wood tomorrow, see if we get that pile dwindled down. I don't wanna get rid of the water tank just yet in case we did lose control of that fire a little bit and we needed to control it with some water. We've got about 200 gallons of water here that we could use. Towards the end of tomorrow, we'll probably take care of moving this water tank and getting that out of the way. And I think we're just gonna put it in the dumpster. I thought about keeping it or using the cage, but the bottom where you would handle this tote with forks is all rotted out and no good. I thought it'd be pretty cool if I could take it home and use it for hauling firewood around, but that's just not gonna happen. Also, I did find another air leak in my tire and we put a plug in it. So maybe that was the reason that we were losing air on that tire, and we'll see if that'll tide things over for a little while. Still, if you have an opinion on what's the best tires for the type of projects that I do, please leave a comment below. But that's going to do it for today. I appreciate everybody watching. Hope you enjoy and subscribe to these videos. Click on the little bell if you want to know when a new one is coming out, and if you want to keep tabs on this project and see how it all works out in the end, because I'm wondering myself just how it's going to work out. So take care, everybody, and keep an eye on this. I just marked a spot for maybe it's a possible spring down in here. It's pretty wet. If you move things around, you can kind of see a trail of water coming through here. I would gather that I'm going to just make a bunch of marks like this up